What's up, punters and dribblers? Welcome back to About Even, the number one betting show on planet Earth. Here for another week, round 3 of Rugby League, God's winter game, though it's still hot as fuck on the eastern seaboard of Australia. We're doing it all thanks to our good friends at Ned's. Shout out to Ned's. Take it to the Ned's level. You know the drill, but always gamble responsibly. So we will have some accountability where we'll go through our bets, punters and dribblers. We are looking at round 3. We've got unit scoopers. There's some UFC on this weekend. $10 into 10,000. Fuck, we were close. We'll get to it. We were fucking close, though.
We were close.
Obviously, you know, is it creating a rift? Thank God we're fucking getting someone off this panel at some point in the next couple of weeks because, fuck me, there's a rift brewing. But joining us as always, Edward Simpson, Sebastian Antonio, Justin the Scope Horror. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome back. How are we?
Fucking good. Good to be here.
Good weekend.
Good
on
to
the
be
punt.
here.
Yep.
Yeah, Seba did all right, didn't you, mate?
Well,
Yep.
Okay.
I'll take
We'll
it.
get to that, obviously. Accountability. But yeah, good to be here. Spring in my step.
Couple of units were hits, not the important one, but I'm sure we'll get to it because there was chat before the potty. Save it for the potty.
Listen,
so I'm
there
ready,
will
boys.
be-
I'm ready to rumble.
Okay.
Well,
There
ready to rumble.
will
Let's
be,
get
there will
into
be
it.
accountability.
Well, I'm
Know
happy to like get into accountability.
Should we lead off with it?
I think, but we start with that, right? Because $10 into 10,000 is like no easy feat, right? Like people sort of tell tales about great punting feats, and we were well on our way to one of the greatest. Eddie, for those that don't understand the $10 into 10,000, just give them a quick refresh.
Listen, the 10 into 10,000 is whispered in dark corners for fear of, of it fucking fluttering away. It's considered impossible by the greatest punters and the greatest minds. And we set out to tackle the greatest challenges on this fucking show. You got to get 10 bets in a row. If they're paying roughly $2 in 10 bets time, starting with $10, rolling on the winnings, you'll get to 10 grand. We'd obviously hit 5 off the back of Sebo twice, myself, Burmo, Rando, like just motherfuckers getting after it, standing up,
Veterans.
not taking no shit.
Yeah.
That's it, baby. And then we send it down to me mate on the right, who's got a bit of fucking coward in him.
Bit of Poo Slinger about him.
Bit of Poo Slinger about him. I know why Ricky got rid of you. And, mate, unders. Listen, it was not even close to unders in the fucking St. George versus Titans game. And what do you got to say for yourself?
I blame Volandis. It's Volandis' fault. It's the NRL scheduling. You gave me a back-to-back Poo Slinger on a Sunday. So naturally, what happens in a Poo Slinger? Awful game. First game, awful. Probably the worst game. Not probably, the worst game of the season. Knights versus Tigers. Poo Slinger unders. But for some reason, the Poo Slinger of all Poo Slingers, the St. George Illawarra Dragons, we spoke immensely about them not doing anything this year, decided to turn up play round 2 after they got the dub against the Buy in round 1. Boys, I didn't see it coming. I apologise to the punters and dribblers at home. I'm big on accountability. Everyone knows that. I own up to when I'm wrong. But not this time. The Landies, it's your fault.
Okay.
NRL scheduling. Back-to-back Poo Slingers. Split them up. Give me something from Saturday to have a little play on. Don't give me 2 back-to-back Poo Slingers.
Nah.
Or otherwise, those are the results we get on About Even.
I am going to give you a pass there because it was the worst Sunday of rugby league ever turned in from a Poo Slinger perspective, right? Like if you're a Knights fan, maybe you're happy because you just scraped by. If you're a Dragons fan, Mad Dragon did a backflip and you guys won. Like, there's some positivity there. But if you are anyone on this panel, Scope broke your heart, broke your dreams.
Listen, I'm still a little bit fucking burnt up about it.
We'll obviously reach out to
simmer.
PBL's people for comment, though.
I'll
I think
simmer.
we need to give them a right to reply.
I'll simmer.
Look,
Of course.
we're trying to get to the moon here in the sense of the 10K.
And back.
Alive.
But like sometimes, and it was only week 2, you just got to send some things out into orbit first, Get
the first
the
Apollo
poor
mission
dog.
didn't make it. Yeah.
They took about 13 Apollos
11.
to get 11 Apollos to get to the moon. You know what I mean? We've had 2 weeks and we've gotten halfway there, or at least there. We just didn't get back in time. You know what I mean?
We got
Like,
halfway.
We got halfway.
We got to the moon, we just didn't get back.
Didn't get back.
Yeah.
Ran out of fuel.
I respect
We
that.
crashed into the moon. Scope crashes into the moon.
He crashed in the moon.
So thanks for that, bro.
Broke one of the
What's
thrusters
the-
and now we're trapped.
Yeah, it's like we're potentially stuck on the asteroid like an Armageddon. And only a couple can get back, but unfortunately, I'm staying on and I'm blowing that bad boy.
Well,
up.
I think you blew that bitch up while we hadn't left yet.
Yeah. So I blew it up.
You're trying to insert
You
yourself.
boys have come back. You can still punt this week, but I'm brown bread on that asteroid.
I know. We were all with you, dude. We all went down with that.
There
goes
isn't.
down
You
with
don't
the
have
ship.
Bruce Willis in you. That's very misleading.
No, that is. Yeah.
He saved humanity, whereas you
One of
fucked
the
us.
all-time films as well, Ahmed.
Yeah, I watched it on the plane recently,
Oh, mate.
and it is getting better with age.
It's a roller coaster. It
It's
just
getting
gives you
better with
every
age.
bit of- a little bit of every emotion that exists. You get in Armageddon.
incredible.
You get a bit of rom-com in there as well, which
Yeah.
is like, you get some hot people having sex. That's what you want.
You got like
I know
little
that sounds very
Owen
trivial
Wilson,
for me,
little.
but
you'll-
Owen Wilson's in it, for
Yeah.
fuck's
Yeah,
sake.
there
You
is.
forget about that.
There'll be tears in the eyes
Yeah.
if you're a little bit.
Especially when it's like, Mum, there's a salesman on TV. He's like, no, that's your daddy.
And then he's holding the spaceship. Yeah.
Because he gives him the shuttle when
That's
he's
good stuff.
before he leaves.
That guy.
Steve Buscemi getting crazy on the fucking
Great
rocket.
cast.
Great cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi loses his mind up there.
Panthers defeat the Rabbitohs 16-10. This one fucked everyone but the Lippy here.
Yep.
I was right with my TAS bet though. My TAS leg. I had South into TAS. So it was unfortunate, but I am still what you got to realize with me, and obviously I'm a humble guy, but I am there. I'm right there. I'm just slowly making the connections I need to really. I'm like a steam train, slowly building up momentum.
There for what? To get a bet?
Well, to start
Or
to start
a few bets?
winning weeks.
When we get down to the legs later on, we'll see that you're not quite there at all. So
Well,
that's
I'm
all right. No, that's fine. You try and pat however you want, but you've got a leg-based issue. A lot of us do, but yours is pretty fucking
Well,
bad.
that's not fair. But the Lippy did have AJ Tango 588. Not bad.
Not bad. Not a bad start. Not a bad start.
Sharkies defeat the Eels. Fucking love that. Fuck the Eels.
So obviously, I spoke last week at length about how I wanted to date Will Penasini, and essentially he stood me up. He didn't come. Waited there all night for Will to show up so I could wine, dine, and 69 him, hopefully. Never showed. Fucked me. Sharks 4.5 into Mulatalo. That gets up. Penasini, he broke my heart.
I think because you guys have
broke my
both
heart.
been in relationships for a long time, probably pre-dating apps. You don't know what it's like to get matched, have a great combo, a couple days back and forth, and you're like, yeah, sweet, let's lock in the day. And then all of a sudden, you've shown people the profile picture, you're excited, but then it's just like,
I don't know how to
just get
date.
ghosted. Yeah.
I don't know how to date.
Is that how the dating apps work? Where you can be well on your way to
Yeah. But
Chongtown,
maybe
or at
the
least
kids
to
do it.
dinner.
Yeah,
how the
but
kids
maybe
do it
they've
these days.
Yeah, they've met up with someone, a few days prior to you, and then
They'll just go silent.
Well, yeah, sometimes, you just like,
Well,
you're in.
that's what Will did to you. Now I tried to sort of third wheel on your Penasini thing, where maybe I just come to the restaurant and watch you guys, like a bit of a cuck sort of thing.
Yep.
Watch you guys get.
You got plenty of cuck in you.
I got Mitchy Mose, who business haircut, but I was collateral damage with your Penasini sort of Tinder shit.
Yep. And now we all gave shit to Sebo for his bet.
Yeah, because you guys don't understand that $3.50 is right where it strikes, where you can laugh at it, sure, and go, look at my $15 multi that just doesn't hit. What would you rather, $3.50 that hits or a $15 one that doesn't? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You bring that up with Tom.
Yeah, we don't. I do understand. Now, Scope, you had Moses as well, but you had Dilly Bags Brown. Did he get close in that game?
Very unlucky in the sense I had two Parramatta halves tries, but unfortunately both to Moses. He didn't share. He didn't share the jam with his mate.
No, he didn't.
Which is disappointing. But, Mitch Moses crossed. So if people got on that, myself and you, Tom, had a little lick on that. Yeah, Dill Brown wasn't really all that close. He was on fire last year. Just a little bit reserved in the first couple of weeks, so he'll get into his work.
Do Parramatta start reaching out to you? Obviously, you are. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you identify as a Manly fan. At least if you want to continue being friends with us, you do. Do Parramatta ever try and reach out and be like, "Hey, dude, former legend, come down. Can you maybe help out the halves? Could you help out some of our back rowers? Ryan Madison's still fucking, on a holiday. Do you want to come slip into the back row?"
Ideally, it'd be the opposite. They'd like me to go to Manly training
Right.
and potentially throw the boys off because that's how much they rate me. I was kicked away from Parramatta. They unfollowed me on the Parramatta Eels page as of 6 months. I think about 6
They
months ago.
unfollowed you.
Yeah. I think I'm considered a Parramatta hater.
Yeah, right.
They
What do you reckon?
unfollowed you.
What do you reckon Brad Arthur would do if you just nipped down to training one day with a fucking
Bag of balls.
and just
Your
went on the
Parramatta
pitch and
gear.
started fucking taking the boys out?
Yeah, there'd be a lot of confusion. I'd be welcomed by the playing group. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm beloved in every playing group that I've been at. But yeah, coaching staff, me and BA got a good relationship. But if they grabbed the steam out, took a tee down, maybe started kicking a few goals while they're training up the opposite side of the field, we just might throw a few of them off, and then therefore just get them to shape up. And what's going on here? This isn't the norm.
Just teach them a bit of shape.
Hey, Parramatta and dribblers out there, I've got like a new movement I want to start, which is get Parra to follow Scope again on Instagram. So, like, as long as it wasn't a blocking, as long as Scope didn't do anything, which, to our knowledge, Scope is a stand-up guy here. What the fuck could he have done other than speak honestly about your shit club, respectfully? Parramatta fans, let's get Scope followed again. Do we just bombard Parramatta's Instagram with follow Scope and just tag Scope?
What's the perfect week? It's a
Follow
Scope Cup.
again.
It's a Scope Cup.
It's the Scope Cup.
Which we are streaming Thursday night, Scope and Mace on the Hello Sport YouTube. I will say this, there is a cup being fucking organised for the Scope Cup.
The inaugural Scope
The
Cup.
inaugural Scope Cup is getting...
Yeah, I'll definitely reach out to the skippers, let them know that there is a cup being made, and potentially head to recovery the next day
Yep, for the winning club.
and find the winner.
him
Shake
a
his
photo
hand,
with
look
it,
him in
yeah.
the eyes, take
Yeah.
a photo with the cup.
Yeah, well, I think that's a great idea, mate. Nip down to the fucking water
And
with
I
your
will
budgies
leg-
on,
and I will
because you'll be
legit
going.
do-
You'll be
I
going
will
to
legit
Manly.
do that.
You'll be
Dude,
going to
that'd be fucking
Manly.
hilarious.
I'll go.
Dude,
I'll go to either.
We're getting
No, but
this,
you've got to go to Manly because obviously
we'll win.
We'll
Yeah,
win.
we'll
We're
Manly.
getting this
It's
guy.
Manly.
Is it Toddler? When are we getting this trophy? Yeah, we're getting.
Yeah, if you
like
get me a trophy, I'm taking it to
Oh,
the
bro,
skipper.
don't worry. There's a fucking huge.
We'll
cup
take a
coming.
camera down as well.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to film it.
The biggest
we're gonna
cup
film it.
possible.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Make the Bledisloe Cup
follow
look small.
Scope again. We move on here. Broncos defeat the Cowboys. I've got an announcement to make. I love the Broncos. I didn't get my bet, but
You
I love the
love?
Broncos.
Love's a strong
I like their
word.
players. They're playing. Their team's sick.
Do you love the Broncos? Do you like their players?
I hate
Big
the club.
difference.
I hate the club.
Big
No, you're
difference.
right. I hate the club. I
Whoa.
love the players.
Easy,
Their
Tiger.
playing group's sick. Now,
They're hot boys. They're hot boys.
they're very hot.
Not
They're
just
hot.
not just Reese, but as a collective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
They've got a good fucking team.
if you look at it on paper, you're just like, wait, I'm still in my head still think the Broncos are shit because
Yeah.
they've shat the bed so many times recently. But you're like, look at the team and you're like,
They're Hansel hot.
Yeah.
So hot right
yeah,
now.
So hot right now.
They are hot right
real
now.
Hansel.
I
vibes.
have a bone to pick with random stats guy over there who gave us plenty of stats last week, and this game particularly, where he's like, "Oh, fucking Felt scores in all the games," and I get in there, I get on it, and fucks me completely. So I'm blaming Rando, even though only one of my legs changed off the back of his stats. But no one really got close.
Yeah, I was hit. That was about it. Pretty boring.
Yeah.
Pretty boring. Move on.
Roosters Warriors.
Scope. Skipper. There you are, brah.
Yeah, and I lick on that too, boys. A lick. I told you, the worst team in the competition just managed to jag one against the Warriors.
Yeah.
But you give me 14.5 about the Wars this year, I'll take that every day of the week. And then the unders, the ever elusive unders that we couldn't find on Sunday.
I know.
It was the wrong. I'm telling you, Roosters are Poo Slingers.
They are
They are Poo Slingers, and so are the Warriors.
Yeah.
And that was the Poo Slinger to attack with the unders, and I did it well, and I doubled up on it.
That's the Poo Slinger bet of the week. Like that right there.
Yeah.
Warriors with the start.
Warriors start under 44.5. That was a fucking pretty meaty overs as well. Our meaty total points.
It was too many points.
Too many points.
for a bunch of losers, respectfully. And 288
20
gets
to
up.
12. So you plenty of room. Plenty of room.
Shitloads.
Comfortably.
Too much room. Fish beat Raiders 20 to 14. Eddie salutes. Seb salutes. Lippy salutes. Very successful game. Scope and I obviously not so much.
Obviously, I see the patterns, punters and dribblers. I go back and I look for them. I do the tough stuff. I do the hard work. I see that Wayne Bennett's never fucking lost as a first grade coach at a new club or returning to an old one in the second round. It's as simple as that. He's now 6 from 6. Hammer goes out there, scores a couple. 547. It's the easiest money I've ever made in my life. Piece of piss.
Seb?
Yep. Look, everyone had to be on the Fish after their famous first round win, so it's like just go with the general flow of the storyline universe and jump on them.
Flow of the stream even?
Yeah,
Fish?
flow of the stream. And then Kotrick, I just wanted someone on the other side because I'm still not sure about the Dolphins, and that is reflected in my bet this week. But needed someone on the other side. But that got me $7.58.
Yeah, that's actually fucking
and underdogs,
juicy.
but Fish were underdogs, and then you get Kotrick, he was $2 something. Like it's, yes, I'm a fan of these two-legged bets. Sometimes you just need the right two legs, and you're getting $5 to $8 odds.
If you play both sides of the field as well, you get juice.
2 legs are good enough for humans. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
do you need more legs than that?
Well, probably not. Depends. If you want to run as fast as a fucking cheetah or something, you probably need
4 would be helpful.
4 would be. I mean, it depends. If you want to stand up and survey the savannah,
Are there any 3-legged
2
animals?
goes all right.
Are there any 3-legged animals getting around? I don't think there is.
Jesus,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
For good
Well, there's a
reason.
couple I can think of.
Tommy Trebojevic.
Tommy Turbo.
Yeah, Tommy Turbo's a 3-legged
He's
creature.
3-legged.
He's 3-legged.
He goes in sweet, by the way.
Well done, Trevor. Lippy under 41.5 in a hammer as well. Doggy Storm. Doggy Storm, mate. Sebo again, your storyline bet here.
Yeah,
was fucking
I mean, it didn't
phenomenal.
go exactly. So I gave like an outline of the story, and that the foundations weren't changed, just a few little timings of things.
Yeah.
It was a pretty easy try that Hughes got, and then Doggies didn't even need the 7.5.
No, they didn't.
You know what I mean? Did they win 13 plus? They did. Yeah, they won
they did.
13 plus. So look, I'll take
Fuck you,
$7 again. 2-legger, $7.42 for Dogs with the start and Hughes. You know what I mean? Just there
good
is
betting.
value in the 2-leggers. I'm
It's
telling
good
you.
betting. I will say that I was robbed of a kick-out try. I was very close, and that was my only chance, but it was a knock-on. I will call it as I see it. But, I mean, is that a bad beat? Probably.
No, I don't think so.
Excellent.
I don't think so.
much.
Scope 1 to 12 doggies. Devo.
That was tough because
I was confident in the dogs.
There was quite a few occasions in that second half where the Storm, having already scored 2 tries, looked like they were scoring a third.
there was an
That wasn't
obstruction
to
in the
be.
last minute or two. For this,
What I didn't account for is Bulldogs got themselves some Dergs.
Yeah, it's a
They've
team
got
of
some
dogs.
Dergs this year, so and the Storm don't.
No, dude, they seem like they're...
So they're a
getting
potential Poo Slinger down the road as well. Storm
reckon?
could become a Poo Slinger
a
this year.
2023 slinger.
2023. There's heaps of slingers this year, boys.
There are...
Heaps.
Well,
I might have half the competition as slingers.
That's kind of the way it goes by the end of the comp, by the end of the season.
After the first 2 rounds, comfortably more than half the teams are slinging.
Everyone's slinging, except Manly.
Except Manly.
Now, on to
And the Fish.
the honestly biggest, greatest, most disgraceful poo slinger of all time in rugby league terms, evidenced by the fact that only Dom Young was the only leg that anyone actually got.
I actually hit. You've put a bit of red
Oh,
next to
sorry,
it.
man.
Oh,
You did.
Come on, bro.
Eddie.
Sorry, bro.
Come on, bruh.
Fix
It's hard
it up.
enough to get some units.
One
Jesus
for
taking
one.
units away from me.
Sorry here, sorry.
There you go, bro.
Come on, bro.
Knights defeat the Tigers. Knights with like 90% of their playing, their roster off the field, defeat the Tigers 14-12. Scope, you did get up here.
And what did I say last week? It's Poo Slinger. So what are you doing, Poo Slinger? You either take the unders or you think it's going to be close because neither team wanted to win the game. On this occasion,
We could have done
the
with this
Newcastle
fucking bet,
Knights
mate. We could have done with this one.
I would have loved to have put that one in.
You could have. It was a Sunday.
I would have loved to have put this
We could
one in
have.
there.
You could have. You keep saying it, and it doesn't change the
But-
fact that you could have.
At the end of the day, the Knights wanted to lose it with everyone that was going off, with everyone that was getting sent off, 10 in the bin. They still managed to find a way to just scrape through.
Yeah, the Knights
team
were
less than
trying
4.5.
to lose that game.
Yeah.
Tigers suck.
I wasn't close, but like Tigers and the over, and with everyone going off Ponged out in the first minute, I was like, okay, surely in the last 20 minutes with all this shit going on, the Tigers can put on 3 tries, get the win, send me to the overs. But I don't think they even scored once during that whole.
No.
Like,
Again, Rando's stats fucked me there. I had 2 different try scorers who didn't go over, in fairness, but Norfolum and Frizzell, nothing.
So you blaming Rando?
I am.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds like it.
Yep.
Pathetic.
Yep. All right. Titans lose to the Dragons. Don't have the score there, but the Dragons won. 13 plus. And
32-18, Tom.
30, oh, it's right there. 32-18. My apologies. Again, the Lippy, the only one to get just a leg in this shithole of a game.
David Fafita didn't show up, and he was basically in all our bets. So
Also,
show up for a try is what I mean. there.
Not to drag anyone specifically into any disrepute here, Scope, but a man that you're associated with quite closely told us just before the show that Kieran Foran was out.
Definitely
for 4
not
weeks.
playing.
It was awful mail, boys. I'm not going to lie.
3 to 4 weeks, 100%. That's what we were told, 100%.
Those were the reports.
That means, you know what 100% means? It means
he's
it's
gonna-
guaranteed.
It means he's not going to play, boys,
Yeah.
for 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I will say, straight off the bat, I ended up finding out 24 hours later that he was going to do a fitness test. And then once I found out he was doing a fitness test, I went, I know. Just steered the punters and dribblers down the wrong road. The Foz will play. But it didn't matter.
No, it
Dragons still got the job done.
Yeah.
So regardless, we were all sort of on Kieran Foran playing anyway.
Yes.
It was a benefit to all our bets,
We
really.
actually, if you read this, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, we-
There's Titans 13 plus in here. There's Titans for Fafita,
Yeah.
2 tries.
It's not
Jojo
like we went
Fafita.
Dragons and
No.
then the Titans won because of Kieran Foran.
Yeah.
We still
We
lost.
just still
we
went
were
with
still
it.
Titans.
Yeah.
We still, So
I'm trying to push blame away from myself. Eddie, can you take over, please? The $10 into 10,000 unit scoopers leaderboard.
obviously we've been over this. Scope let us down. He's a dog. It is what it is, coward. Unit scooper. Tommy, 1 from 4 legs. Myself, 2 from 5 legs. Scope, 3 from 8 legs. Seb, 1 from 3 legs. Lippy, 2 from 5 legs. Pathetic, all of us.
Not
But
even
unit scoopers, if you hit one a fucking year, then you're flying. So you don't expect overnight success there. The weekly leaderboard, good week for Sebo.
Fuck me dead.
Hangs on to the belt in a big way.
Yep.
8.28 units, 8 from 21 legs, but he hit when he needed to, 4 from 10 bets.
I'll take that.
That's good stuff.
That's a good week. That's a good week. The Lippy turned out. 2 from 9 bets, 10 from 24 legs. That's not a bad hit rate. 3.77 units. Scope,
Coming.
2 from 10 bets.
I'm coming, bro.
Hit the
I want
right
that belt
one.
before I go.
7 from 21 legs, 3.32 units.
Belt's
Nice.
coming here week 4 before I leave. That's going to be sitting
you got
right
some
here on my
fucking
way
units
out.
to make up.
Lot of making up to do. I'm 2 from 10, 11 from 23 legs, minus 1.65. And Tom, 1 from 10, 7 from 23 legs. That was poor.
Yeah.
And minus 3.93 units.
I've been humbled.
So Tom keeping himself, he's halted the damage by going big odds, but obviously doesn't hit much. So that's tough.
Yep.
Sebo winning 3.11 units. The only guy in the green.
I'll take that. Back in the green.
Pat yourself on the back, bruh.
Yeah, mate.
Pat
After
yourself
just
on the
2
back,
weeks,
bruh.
I'll take that
You
every day
really
of the
should be
week.
making his whole thing green then,
Now-
just for like a visual effect, but whatever.
Now, well, he's got the yellow one. He's got the yellow
we should do
jersey
that
on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
The Lippy. Not bad from the Lippies last couple of weeks. I fully expect them to fucking fall off a cliff, but they are in second, minus 2.31.
Jesus
Scope,
Christ.
minus 7.4. Myself, minus 10.84. And Tommy Birmingham. Thomas William George, minus 17.04. 14 from 47 legs. 1 from 22 bets. That's the Tommy way.
Yeah.
That's
Mate,
the Tommy way.
If you get into the 7s by week 4 of the season, that's a record and it's scary. You know. what I mean?
Listen. This is it's a long season. It's a long season. I have been champion before. I will be champion again. It's about just not panicking, consulting with the people that, my mentors, and coming back bigger and better. And listen, I think I've worked it out. So I think I've worked
We'll
it
get
out.
into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it. That's accountability.
Let's bet.
Time some betting, you fucks. And the first game of the round is the mighty Manly Seagulls, the pride of the league, the pride of the peninsula. They're taking on the Parramatta Eels. 0-2, those fucking gimps. 0-2. It's also the Scope Cup, which we've spoken about. Now, Justin Horro, the man down the end of this table, an illustrious rugby league career for both clubs. A grand final win for Manly in 2013 against the Roosters. So this one obviously has a lot of meaning for Scope as a premiership winner with the club. The Seagulls are a favourite to $1.65. The Eels, imagine being the Eels, grand finalists last year, and you're not even the fucking favourites against a team that didn't make the top 8. What a fucking bunch of
And
losers.
almost certainly going to go 0-5.
Oh, they're going to fucking go 0-5. They're paying $2.20. The line 2.5, over under 41.5. Now, as it is the Scope Cup, I feel like we go to the man who has donned both jerseys But before we do that, we're going to go to Rando.
Thanks, boys. Sorry, Tommy. Appreciate the feedback from last week's stats, so I'll try and make it brief this time. Parramatta, they've only won 5 of their last 16 games against Manly. Of course, we're all here for some Ant stats. Brad Parker playing game 100. He scored in each of his last 2 games against Parramatta. Even better than that, the Eels are the club he has scored the most tries against. And he has won each of his milestone games. If you're looking away from Brad Parker, when Josh Schuster plays 6, the fullback has scored in each of the last 4 games for the Manly Seagulls that Schuster has played 6. So look for out the back there to Tommy Turbo to crash over at $2.02.
Shocking. Look at my bet.
Yeah, whoops. Oh, wow. Rando brought me to completion. It's not even midday. Thank you, Rando. That was fantastic. Now down to you, Scove.
Rando, great stats, by the way. And there's a reason the Parramatta Eels haven't followed me on Instagram, boys. Because they're not going to like this as well. So if you thought they were going to follow me back after this episode, they're not. And because of that, Rando, I was already on the milestone man himself, Brad Parker. Josh Schuster comes back on that left edge, the no-looker of doom. Tommy Turbo's out the back. I think they look after their mate on his milestone game. And then also, I love Ruben Garrick. I just think a lot of attack is going to be coming down that left edge. And just because of those stats, and again, maybe a bit of bitterness towards Parramatta Eels for not following me on Instagram, I'm chucking Manly in for the dub as well. I'm going to add that in there. And let's see what that gets us to now. Originally, I had 7s, going up to 976.
Oh, that's nice. That's really good stuff. It may surprise people. I think Manly will win this one. The fucking 2.5 line is the easiest money, responsibly, that I've ever seen in punting. Manly fucking cover that piece of piss. Now, those stats that Rando was just talking about Tommy Turbo, that's obviously good for me because I've got him in there as an any time. I have whacked in the Ant in his 100th game, Brady Parks. I agree that he goes over and the stats back me up. And then Ruben also goes over because Ruben scores every single time he plays for Manly. Now, this is an Old Testament Tom bet where the odds are huge and it's Manly and all those good things. But for that to happen, which Manly's attack was humming against the Dogs, the Eels suck, Turbo's back, Schuster's back, everyone's hot and horny and ready to rip, 1885.
Not bad.
It's pretty good stuff.
Not bad.
Edward?
Listen, I, along with my old mate Tom, went out at the club start of the season. We're invited out, actually, by Tony Siebes himself, just to get out there and boy the boys. We're official boys this year, and I got to tell you, it's a nice feeling when you get out to a club and you realise you really don't have much to do, because that's a fucking tight-knit team out there. They're fucking
Boyd already.
They're buoyed within an inch of their life already. Those motherfuckers are getting around each other. And there's one man in particular, Brad Parker, the Ant, strong as a fucking fully grown chimpanzee or an ant. Depends which way you want to look at it.
Or both.
That motherfucker's just got a presence out there. People are just running around, slapping him on the ass. He's slapping them on the ass. He's just fucking getting people up and about. He's a character. He's cheeky. So if you don't think that the boys aren't going to get up for that motherfucker,
Also,
who's the heart and soul of the club,
also
on his
got a big
100th
hog on him, though, is what I'm hearing.
hogged up, Tom, hogged up. In his 100th game, you got rocks in your fucking head. Parker scores. Manly win 13 plus, and you know who else goes in? Brad Parker's 3-legged mate, Turbo. He goes in.
Yeah.
6 legs, baby, between the two of them. 14:33.
Beautiful stuff. Sebo, how you seeing it?
Look, I'm going to have to be a bit go on the other side. I'm not going on the Eels, but I just got to be wary because my theory with Parramatta that I went into a lot last season is they're like a teenage boy who's a bit of a bully. And but they can't read and stuff like that, and they get embarrassed. And when they get embarrassed, they take it out on someone and go flush someone's head down the toilet. That was my theory last year. That's just the kind of top level of the theory. It's not going to get into any deeper than that. But Para have been shown twice. 2 weeks in a row, they've been embarrassed that they can't read. Maybe something else is wrong with them, and I think they might. Some other learning. They might be out for a flushing. You got to be wary of bullies. You know what I mean? After they get embarrassed, so know, it's like I'm not tipping them to win. I just know my theories. Everyone has to have their own constitutions with teams and things like that. And this is one of mine. I'm always wary of a Parramatta flushing. So I'm taking fucking result out of it. I'm just going Garrick and I'm going Sevo and over because Sevo he's just whether he's scoring, he's nearly scoring. Garrick, same thing. And then over 41.5, I feel both these teams are like flashy, got a lot of attack, but sometimes can shit the bed defensively a little bit. So I think the overs is easy. Those three things, 551, just beware of the flushing. Beware. I'm not going for Parramatta. I just know flushings exist.
It's hard to argue. I mean, obviously I disagree, but the man does have his theories and you must respect that. Now, our lippy dribbler for this week, Tim Don, of a name we're not sure. Is that like a made-up name? Is he trying to is it a pseudonym? Is that what they call it?
Timmy Don, like Tony Don.
Tony Don? Is it Tony Don who's like, it's clearly Tony Don and he just doesn't want to talk about it? He's gone Parker first try scorer into Parker 2 or more at $62.06. I don't hate it. I can't hate it.
I can't hate that. I can't hate that.
I refuse to hate it.
I can't hate that bet.
I might even have a look at it.
Parker scores first and then scores one more for $62.
I mean, for how much you guys are on him, you'd be silly not to at least.
You just have a look at it.
Control C, Control V that.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean?
I will be having something on that.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right, let's move on.
Responsibly, of course.
Responsibly, Fish v. the Knights. The Knights are... This is how bad it is to be a Newcastle Knights fan right now. You are in the third game of the season and you're coming up against a side who was tipped to not win a game for like the first 10 rounds and they're the favourites. So the Knights are paying $2.45. The Fish, $1.55 at Knights. At the Knights' home ground, McDonald Jones. And the Fish are favourites. The line 5.5. The over-under is 40 points. Bang on. Sebo, what are you doing?
Look,
Brando. Fuck
Come on,
yeah.
Tom.
Brando.
I know you hate me, Tom. I get it. I
man,
fucked you over
pissed me
last
off.
week.
Yeah,
Be a dry 26-degree day in Newcastle. Now, quick tidbit, the Knights haven't lost their first game at McDonald Jones since 2014. However, if we look at the recent history, they are 0-9 at home as the underdog last season and have only won 3 of their last 10 without Kalen Ponga. If you are looking for a try scorer, Knights fans, after hearing that depressing news, Dom Young's your man. He has scored in each of his last 5 games in Newcastle, and the Dolphins' left side has leaked half their tries this season.
Okay. Sebo.
I'm doing a bit of planning, pre-planning. I'm starting to get prep for my Ozaki run, which is going to come around like round 6 to 13 or something like that. And like climbing an Everest or a K12 or 2 or whatever the fuck they're called, like the really hard ones, you've got to know your lines. Like you've got to know where you can go. If a fucking blizzard comes in, you can take that route. You can go this route. And so I'm familiar with a lot of teams' lines, but I'm not familiar with the Dolphins line because I haven't done just a clean Dolphins line before. So I'm just getting prepped. I'm just putting my balls on the line, just taking the line, $1.90. Fish minus 5.5. I just want to get to know them as just a pure line team because I'm packing my bags. I'm setting up at base camp and I'm going to climb this fucking mountain again.
Spooling up rope and shit and your carabiners and all that
vertical
bullshit.
limit shit. You know what I mean? I'm getting ready to
oxygen tanks.
Yeah. So
Just not the start of vertical limit.
no. Well, it's like the Ozaki.
Not the opening scene.
The glory is trapped up there somewhere, and I've got to start
Sipping on a bit of whiskey, get the blood flowing.
Yeah. You can't take down an Ozaki 8 just like. Sure, maybe like just
Off the
randomly,
couch.
but like you've got to start thinking about it, start getting to know teams, lines, prepping. So I'm ready. I'm ready to fucking.
You got to train. You got to train at altitude. I get that. You got to get acclimatized. Makes sense.
Edward.
Makes a lot of sense. I don't like the Knights. I think we've been over that before. Tom and I are not huge fans of the Knights at the moment. I think that O'Brien's under a fucking lot of pressure. And although I've never met him, he doesn't strike me as a bloke that does well under the pump. And that's exactly where the fucking Knights are right now. They've got no Kalen Ponga. They're on the back foot. They've just come out of a fucking Poo Slinger. And yeah, it was a brave win. But let's not get fucking carried away and think that that just translates to wins every week.
No.
Brave wins come around fucking rarely. That's why they're called brave wins, because they're against the odds. And it's not going to happen 2 weeks in a row. Wayne Bennett's got his troops fucking humming, baby. They were cool, calm, and collected last week in the rain when they got fucked by the refs and Sean O'Sullivan went off. They're like, baby, we're good. Katoa out the back to Hammer. Thanks very much. Now, it's a fucking dry game, this. So I like Fish -5.5. I think they score points on these losers. I think Osako's involved. He gets at least one. 3.23, nothing crazy. But that's a guaranteed bet right there.
Yeah, it's a clean two-legger.
It is a clean two-legger. You can walk with that bet. Scope.
You looked at me a couple of times during that speech. Are you really feeling this bet, aren't you, Edward?
Feeling it.
All right.
And you're my right-hand man, you know what I mean? So I'm looking at you, bro.
Yeah, you're just looking for a bit of reassurance from your guy.
From
your guy,
do you
you're right.
believe in me?
I'm with you boys on a lot of this. I don't trust either of these teams, to be fair. Even though the Fish are doing fishy things, I'm just going to stick to what I do know. And that these two players have been scoring tries. And by what I mean by tries is tries, plural. Is it plural?
Yes.
Yeah. I might have been that guy who's flushing down the toilet. So I'm going to stick with Dom Young, who got off the nudie last week.
Yeah, fuck.
And then he scored a couple. So he managed to cross for a couple. And the Hammers scored in both of the games. And also potentially scored a double. No, just
He
one
got a
last
double
week.
last
He
week.
did get a double as well.
Yeah.
So he can score tries, boys.
Yep.
Nothing crazy. Don't worry about a shitty result. Don't worry about a Poo Slinger unders overs bet. Just back two guys that you know are going to get it done.
Yeah.
Dom's got it done in the past at McDonald Jones. Hammer's been getting it done this year for the Fish. Them two together, 465.
Yep, simple bet. I like it.
What
I like
I'm
it.
trying to do this week is stem the loss of blood that is happening to me right now. I'm obviously hemorrhaging responsibly at the moment. And so what I need to do is try, so that I can win this belt, because obviously that's what it's all about here, is stem the blood loss. Cauterize the wound, which I think is where you just basically stick something really hot on it and it just
iron or
seals
something.
your skin up. So that's why my betting is a little bit more, I guess, how would you call it, optimistic this week. I think Fish 13 plus. Now, that's partially because I hate the Knights, but it's also secondly because I like the Fish. Knights shit, and not just Ponga out, Brayley out, Saifidi out, Frizzell out. Fucking look at that side. You're like, this side's a pile of poo. Respectfully, of course. Shout out to Adam Elliott. Biggest dick I've ever seen.
Can confirm. Absolutely enormous.
So I like Fish 13 plus. Hammer got 2 last week. Now it is a bit. I didn't get on him last week. It's semi Oliver Twist, please, sir. Can I have some more? I wasn't on it, but I saw that that he was giving it out. So now I'm starting to hang around the 2 or more.
I think Oliver
for
Twist.
Hammer.
I think you had to have been on the week before.
Yeah.
But if you're seeing so it's not an Oliver Twist. It's something like
You're Oliver Twist, mate.
yeah, exactly.
Someone
I'm
had
you
to have
gave
done it.
You gave someone else fucking 2 tries last week. Can I have some
The
of that
soup
action?
has to have been poured to
Yes.
someone. It's not
Yes.
just like a made-up retrospective kind of bowl of soup.
I hope this is making sense to everyone. So Fish 13 plus into Hammer 2 or more, which isn't crazy, right? That's really not crazy. You're getting 14.37. I just don't think it's it's obviously optimistic, but it's not crazy.
It's not crazy.
not crazy.
It's certainly optimistic.
It's
but
optimistic,
not
but it's not crazy.
No, it's not crazy.
Now, what's our Lippy doing?
Fish win. First half points under 9.5. Second half points under 20.5. He's getting too fruity.
Way too much, dude.
Way too fruity, bro. Yeah. Way too. It's like if you go to pour yourself a nice cordial on a hot day and you put too much fucking cordial in. It's too fruity, bro.
that needs to
Even
be
worse
watered
is
down.
someone tries to mix 2 flavors together because they think they're a
Yep.
mixologist or something.
And now you've got diabetes, bro. And that's on you. That's on you.
A lot has to happen in that bet for not many
Fuck
units.
all. Yeah, dude.
It's dumb.
It's so much has to
It's
happen
a
for
dumb
fuck
bet.
all. That's
Sorry,
it.
mate.
No, it is.
Dumb.
It's stupid.
Dumb.
Tim Don. Roosters Rabbitohs, 8:30 Friday night. The Booker feuds, blah, blah, blah. But I think what people are forgetting in this game is that one of the teams is a slinger of shit in 2023. And that is the Sydney Roosters. They are $2.30. The Rabbitohs, $1.62. The line, 3.5. Over under 39.5 points. Now, before I fuck it up again and just start slanging bets, I'm going to throw it over to Rando for some stats.
24 and dry in Sydney for this one. Big ins for the Roosters, Radley and JWH. When those two are playing together, the Roosters have won 9 of their last 10 games. However, they have only won 3 of their last 10 games against Souths in the last 5 seasons. They've never won as the underdog when Jared Sutton has a whistle. So could be interesting there. Interesting looking at all your bets because I thought out of all the popular games to put this player in, it's this one. AJ, he scored 11 tries in his last 6 games against the Roosters and 5 tries in his last 4 games on Friday night.
I will say, And the reason I think AJ wasn't in there, and obviously I'm very much considering now to add him in, is that he's kind of just been a little bit hard to come by, even though he scored 1 in the last 2 weeks. There's just been there's a vibe around him where I'm like, because he fucked us against Cronulla, it's like I don't know if I trust him. But he's going in. Sebo, what are you doing in this bet?
I didn't know the exact stats, but I knew that the Bunnies have been absolutely fucking the Roosters up as of the last 5 to 10 years. And I just the Roosters, they're full of Ferraris. But when it comes to Book of Feud stuff, you need a bit of a off-roader type.
Like a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Something with one of those snorkels on it so you can go in the water.
Exactly, and that's Trell, you know what I mean? He's he can run fast, but he can also run through trees and shit, you know what I mean? He's that's what you need in a Book of Feuds thing. And Trell got me my Interstellar bet on this same Book of Feuds kind of matchup. So I just love Trell against the Roosters anytime because he seems to get a little bit more fired up than his other games. So I'm going Trell. AJ's the obvious pick right there, and Bunnies to win. It's $5.07. You might call it a meat and potatoes, but I just think this is the type the Bunnies are the team that you want to bank a meat and potatoes on.
I can see that the bunny, but it's the meat and potatoes thing is it's almost too early in the season. But then you look at my bet and you're like, well, what the fuck is this? You know, you want to start making comments about meat and potatoes. What the fuck are you doing? I was going Suoli'i, Trell, and overs, 39.5. To me, it was just a bit skinny. Both teams can score points. It's going to be dry. They're going to be trying to fuck each other up. So I liked 39.5. So I've gone the overs, Suoli'i and Trell, but then with the AJ news, I'm chucking him in as well. You're getting 12.26, which, to be honest, considering I've got 4 legs, is not magnificent. But you take it. You know, you're trying to cauterize a wound. You do what you have to do. Edward.
Went back, did some digging.
Kid's been digging?
Kid's been digging, got the shovel out, went digging. Now, I was thinking to myself, how do I attack these stats between these fucking 2 old rivals, Book of Feuds? And I thought to myself, what month is it? It's March. I'm going to look at fucking March stats, baby. Because we all know that the Roosters start like a pile of shit. So how does that translate in the Book of Feuds? When the last 8 games that they've played each other in March, the Rabbitohs have won 7 of them, baby. And the only year they lost was in 2017 when they went like a busted ass, finished 12th, and the Roosters finished 2nd. So we take that out. They've basically won fucking 7 from 7. So obviously, I'm now looking at the fucking Rabbitohs. What's the average winning margin in those games? 15 points. So I'm looking at that 3.5 line going, fucking oath. Give me that, please. Not a problem. So the 3.5 line goes in. AJ, off the back of the stats that Rando provided, he goes in as well. I didn't have him originally. I'll put my hand up and admit that, but I can put him in under the rules and regulations that the show provides, the parameters of the show. He goes in. And Campbell Graham, who's been doing a fucking job, I think that he goes over on that right edge, put them together, 750. That Rabbitohs line, baby, gobble that up. 3.5, gobble it up, punters and dribblers. It's there to be gobbled.
Yeah, that is. That's good stats, Eddie. That's good stats. Now, if Rando had said them, I may have chucked that line in as well, but I didn't, and I can't. Scope, what are you doing?
All right, boys, let me first preface by saying that I will be at this game. I'm up in a suite. I'm up there like an alpha.
Yeah.
So what happens when an alpha turns up to a game to watch? Therefore, the alphas that are playing on the pitch, they want to step up. So I'm talking about Trell Mitt, and I'm talking about catching some Teddy.
Okay. They know you're coming.
They know I'm coming, and guess what? South should know they're coming because Teddy should have caught 3 last week. He didn't catch nothing.
No, he didn't.
So he's going to go looking for it this week. He wants to, and if I'm Joseph Suoli'i, I want to be finding some Teddy after last week's debacle.
Well, because he fucked Teddy last week.
After last week's debacle. So, a couple of alphas doing it for an alpha, sitting up in a suite like an alpha. And the one thing that scares me, that the Roosters are well and truly a poo slinger. So I'm going to give myself a little wheel room. I'm going to bring in.
Sounds like this alpha ain't much of an alpha.
I'm going to bring in the Book of Feuds and a poo slinger and somehow combine it into just either team under 10.5.
Right.
Just because it gives me some wiggle room that it could be a poo slinger performance from the Roosters, but maybe the Book of Feuds brings it back and they just try a little bit harder. and
Play
and
themselves into
therefore,
form.
you know, the wiggle room at 10.5, like it was, the margin against the Warriors on the weekend. So either team under 10.5, Teddy and Tro anytime, 10.79.
Okay.
I don't mind it, but I gave up trying to catch teddies a long time ago.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Teddies are
personally,
hard to
I
catch,
like people who can catch them.
Well, Teddy, I mean, listen, and Teddy's, it's not Teddy's season.
I'm only going to
not
try to
Teddy's
catch
season.
Teddy once this year.
Yeah. If you can't catch him, you got to stop.
If we can't catch Teddy after he should have had 3 last week,
Yeah.
Teddy ain't going to be
Yeah.
caught this year.
Dude,
We just
he's
gotta let him go.
fucking hard
Nah.
one to catch.
Got to let him go. And
can't
sometimes
waste-
if you love someone, you got to let him go.
Like last week, if you were trying to catch Teddy's last week, you would have every right to feel like this is just it's an impossible.
Well, you'd be in
dream.
a straitjacket. You'd be
Yeah.
fucking losing.
When Suoliti doesn't pass to Teddy, when there's a Teddy to be caught, you're like, okay, this is fucked.
You waste a lot of-
Dommy Young scores on the weekend. I'm trying to catch a Dommy. Fucking Stags scores on the weekend. Like, you know, it's always when you're not there.
I will say this. If it was a contract thing at the back of his mind, which has now been cleared up, he goes out there and scores. We know it was a contract thing. If he doesn't score this week, you start asking yourself, should he be dropped?
Yeah,
That's a great question. That's a great question.
it's a fair question.
It's a fair question.
The Lippy has gone Graham and Manu. Is that Graham Manu? Did he play for...
Graham Manu.
Was he the Australian wicketkeeper?
He was. Manu, I believe.
There
he
was
played,
Manu,
I
but was
believe-
it Graham Manu?
Yeah, one test in England. I'm
There you
pretty
go.
sure.
So it's the Graham Manu, the wicketkeeper bet.
We went on a Manu
Yeah, we went. Well, we
deep
didn't
dive one
realise he
year.
existed.
We
were like,
didn't.
We forgot he existed.
Well,
No
Manu
disrespect.
caught us off guard.
So Lippy's gone Graham and Manu anytime.
Wicketkeeper bet.
A wicketkeeper bet, which I actually fucking like purely because of the narrative around it. And that's paying $9.07. Let's move on to the Titans and the Storm. Where are we here? Let me get up the odds. The Titans 260, the Storm $1.48, the line 6.5, the over under 41.5. I'll be honest here. Can I be honest with you guys?
Yep.
Is it cool if I can just be honest?
Yep.
I don't know. I saw this game and I was like, I don't trust the Storm anymore. And that feels weird to say because for the last 20 years, I've been able to trust them. I don't trust them.
Not without that fucking absolute game changer, Cameron Munster. Without him there, there's not a whole lot of trust.
They've got some players coming back. Like, I think fucking Kamakamika, Tariq's going to debut. There's someone else. Olam's
is
back.
back.
Coach is back. Like, there's players back, but I just don't trust. I got trust issues.
You need trust.
So I'm taking Titans with the start.
Hey.
Fuck! Fuck!
I'm just going to leave.
Yeah, well, I can't see it. It's because I can't fucking see the
What
guy.
are you talking about? He's right there.
Oi, and because I'm going to reverse Titans at the start because I want to hear what you're saying, Rando. So I've said nothing yet.
It kicks off a triple header of Queensland games for Super Saturday. Titans, they haven't won in 8 games against the Storm. They haven't beaten them at Seabus since 2013. In 3 of the last 4 rounds that the Storm have finished in the bottom 8, they have won the next game by 13 plus. Now, quite a stat here is these are the top 2 teams in the missed tackle count. The Storm are leading the missed tackles with 86. 23% of those misses have come from their left side in Wishart and Loiero. So I'm looking at the right side here for the Titans to take advantage of that. Now, Joe Stimson, Tanner Boyd, not notable try scorers, but I do like Aaron Schopp. They're on the right centre, and the right centre has scored in each of the last 4 games against the Melbourne Storm.
Holy shit. Thank you, Rando. I like that.
They're nice stats, brah.
Eddie,
They're very nice stats.
what are you doing?
I was aware that the Storm had won the last 8 against the Titans, but different times, bruh, which is sort of put me in a mindset where I go, I don't like lines, I don't like results in this game. I'm just going to go try scorers. Now, sure, I do have 2 Storm try scorers, which may suggest that I think the Storm are going to win, but I'm not having anything to do with results in my bet per se. Now, Nick Meaney, doing a job at fullback, filling in from Big Pappenhuisen. He's been playing all right, Nick Meaney. And if Rando's to be trusted, when we were in the green room, he said that fullbacks have been scoring tries this year. So Nick Meaney goes in. And when Sebo hit Jerome Hughes last week, it made me feel a certain way. And if I'm honest, it made me feel jealous. I was jealous as fuck of that. Because I remember back to last year when Hughes would go in for all of us and he'd fucking rain, baby.
Yeah.
He'd rain and rain. So he goes in as well, 722.
To be fair, with Jerome Hughes in his 5 games against the Titans, he has never scored.
Perfect. Perfect. Those people just fucking put me down for an L now.
Sebo, what are you doing?
I want to stay away from any sort of results here. And I've always had a soft spot for the Titans, and I want them to win, but I'm not going to tip them to win. And I just don't. I'm going to take a leaf out of Tom's book here and just try not to risk too many units on something I'm not too sure about. So I'm just going to throw in 3 try scorers, kind of like a glitter bet. You're just picking up 3 random little bits. I've got Coates, Brimo, and David Fafita. It's 16.89. I just don't want to. I don't want to risk units, but yeah, are Melbourne shit now? I don't know. Are Titans? I mean, they always suck defensively, but maybe they can score some points. I don't know. It's just it's a week 3. We haven't gotten over the hump of figuring out where everyone stands just yet.
Yeah. All right, I'm with you. I hear you. I was going with Titans with a 6-point start, and then I had Coates and Pereira. On Rando's stats provided, I got spooked, and I also kind of realised, why the fuck are you doing anything that involves a Titans fucking, like a Titans win, for lack of a better term? I took the line out of there. Took him out. I've kept Coates in, and then his Aaron Shoop stats about tries on the fucking whatever edge Shoop's on. I fucked off Pereira and I put Shoop in. So it's just a double ender. I've simplified it. Double ender, Coates, Shoop, anytime 624. Just simplified. It's a fucking hard game.
Better.
Yeah, better.
Probably
Smarter.
a good op. Is Pereira even playing for the Gold Coast Titans? I think he's with the Broncos, isn't he?
No, Khan Pereira.
Khan Pereira.
Khan Pereira. Sorry. I robbed him of part of his first name, last name. Scope.
All right, boys. I'm with you on the Melbourne Storm getting dusted in this one. I think, look, although you haven't taken the result, you sort of lean in there without saying it, boys. So I'm just going to go head first, dive in. Titans, don't worry about the start.
Wow.
Give me them head-to-head. I think there'll be some points based off the missed tackles that I love from Rando. And because Rando threw that stat on the back of the stat that I already loved about the missed tackles, I'm going to add the right side. Although it's not shop, I will go Phil Sammy, his right winger. So therefore, Melbourne are very stat-driven down there in Melbourne. I know they know that. So they're going to be working on it. They're going to be jamming in, making sure they protect their inside shoulder. Therefore, a little bit of joy on the outside to Phil Sammy. So I had that one last minute, and that gives me $9.82. And I feel really good about that for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, obviously Titans bold as fuck. I feel like you should be getting. It should almost be more because of Titans. But like, if you're comfortable with Titans, then I like that bet.
It's funny. I went into the game very 50-50, potential Poo Slinger with Melbourne potential Poo Slingers. But as the stats just kept on, Rando just were going through and I'm going, I'm liking this bet even more. And then you know what? I'm going to add a little bit of GST to it too. So
Yeah.
I'll add a little bit more. Titans.
You got to add GST.
A little bit of GST. Sammy anytime. Over 40.5.
Good for you, man.
Love it.
I like it because if Titans win, Melbourne back-to-back lost to the Doggies, then Titans. It's kind of like, one of these greats like Roosters, Melbourne, Penrith. They're like elephants, you know what I mean? They're hard to take down. But if Melbourne they fall down, start losing to shit teams, all us punters, we're like hyenas and shit. There's new meats, there's new markets, there's new shit to get around. Yeah. Rather than just like Melbourne are going to smoke this team, you're like, okay.
I'm going to come feed on this carcass.
I'm going to feed on this carcass with some real good bets in the future.
Like when you see a whale, a dead whale out in the ocean, there's like crocs and great whites eating next to each other, just chewing on this bitch.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Now
It'd be quite a carcass too. Storm went down.
It'd be a carcass.
Yeah.
Now the Lippy has gone Storm head-to-head Olam anytime at a very boring, a very conservative $3.30. So fuck them.
Jesus, it's hard to swallow that bet.
That's a guy that still believes the elephant's got some fucking... that's a guy that believes in the elephant. Is that elephant still kicking? Who knows? Yeah. Or, like in game reserves, when the elephants get old enough, they just let a bunch of people come in and shoot it. Because the old bull they kill the young calves. Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
It's a bit of game reserve.
Lions do it as well. I was on a game reserve in Jan. Yeah.
Did you shoot any majestic beasts?
But they have to take the old lions out when it's time.
Yeah, they do it with giraffes. Yeah. They do it with fucking... That's how they do it. They don't just go out there killing wildlife.
How's the natural kingdom do it?
Eddie, you'd have to speak to the natural kingdom about that. I'm not entirely
Like, I'm just
sure.
wondering why they don't let fucking the natural world do its thing.
Well, because it's on a reserve.
Because it's a reserve.
There's they're like 100 and something hectares, but like the lion can't go to a new territory once he's been kicked out. It's like he's trapped still in that territory, if you know what I mean. Like, so he's got to.
So you just go out there with a fucking.
I don't know if they can. I just know they
gun that'll
take
take down
them out. I
helicopters
think
and
they. Yeah.
blow up a
We are a gambling / nature show. So. Next, we got Cowboys and the Warriors. Cows at $1.35, Warriors $3.15. Line is 8.5. Over under 42.5 for this Saturday night fixture. Scope, what are you doing down there, bros? What are you doing? Rando, fuck me, dead. He's gone. He's gone. And so he should.
Fucking hell, mate. You might have to go to the doctor.
Yeah, well. I've been back and forth from there this week.
Going to be a little bit of rain in the morning here, but drying up for the game, which means the humidity will be at an all-time high, 30 degrees in Townsville. I would ride the Cowboys dick home here, but they have only covered the line in 44% of their last 16 home games. The Warriors, whilst they've lost their last 10 games away as the underdog, they have covered the line in 56% of those games. And of course, sorry, just put your fingers over your ears, Tommy. But Carl Felt's best try scoring record is against the Warriors. He scored 13 tries in 11 games.
I refuse. I do like the stats though. Thank you, Rando. I endeavour to remember that you are in the room for the next game. Scope.
All right, boys. I think it's in the name here, so I'm going to come. I'm not a rev head, boys, by any stretch, but I'm going to go 2 high-speed motorcycle goers. And what I mean by that, I'm looking at names. I'm looking at people that go fast. And when I have a look at Gehemat Shibasaki, just sounds like it goes. And I look on the other side, and I look at Marcelo Montoya, and I feel like he goes as well. So I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I can't get a read on the game, so I'm just going to get a couple of goers. Couple of high-speed volume goers.
I like
and those names just scream speed to me.
That's fast and furious shit.
Yeah.
If Shebasaki's not clicking 200 on the reg, then I'm not here.
Yeah.
So give me those two boys, couple of goals on either side. And
Shebasaki's throaty.
Yeah.
Really throaty.
And you get $8.13 about those
Dude,
those two goals.
that might be my favourite bet you've ever done.
Yep, I'm getting on that
Yeah.
Dominic Toretto-ish bet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a fast.
Like-
It's a need for speed bet.
It's a fast bet.
That's a great bet. I'm on it.
What are you doing, Sebo?
8.5 just seems like a weak line for me. Like, I know the Cows don't have Drinky, but the Cows are still like a decent team, aren't they? I don't know. But I'm just going on the heat vibe. Rando just backed me up. It's going to be like 90% humidity, 30 degrees.
They're basically playing in water.
They know what it's like. Fucking the Warriors. I mean, I haven't been to New Zealand, but I didn't see anyone wearing fucking sunblock in Lord of the Rings. It always seems cold. Like, it's just bloody... Like, they're not used to heat.
It's a great point.
So I'm taking the Cows at minus 8.5. And then Talangi, he's been getting over for me. That's $3.08.
Can I, obviously, you know, we like to have fun here, but can I drop some, like, fucking real rugby league knowledge on everyone? Like some insight?
Sure.
Obviously, Scope, I know you played, but this is insight that you can't fucking get from anywhere other than my brain. I will start with this. Obviously, we got Drinky out, right? Drinky's out, broke fucking Oates' face. And I think the new fullback's a guy who I've never heard of, Chesterfield. I saw that and I'm like, does this cunt play the full game at fullback? Or when you've got someone like Val Holmes has represented his country and state at fullback, you might see Val get a little bit of fucking time back there, a little bit of open space. So I like Val anytime. In the centres, I find him hard to wrangle sometimes. But when he's fucking at fullback, because with respect to Chester, who I've never heard of, Val might be better.
Is his first name Win?
Chesterfield? I don't know. But Val anytime. Now, when you're fucking playmaking fullbacks, you're number one in Drinky's out, do you start to look elsewhere for players to step up and take control of the game, like Robson at hooker? Is it become a bit more about him? Now, why? Don't know. That's where my analysis ends. But I like him to score. So you've got Robson, you've got Holmes. Now, I think the Cows bounce back from embarrassing opening rounds of rugby league, and they hump the Warriors into the core of the Townsville earth. Cows 13+, Robson, Holmes anytime, 13-18. I reckon it's pretty fucking bang on.
I'll come in and back up your Robson because your analysis ended, and then I'll pick it up.
Yeah, good.
And this is just cheap, nasty analysis, but it's analysis nonetheless.
Gas station analysis.
Gas station analysis. Robson basically scored in every third-ish game last season. That was sort of where he was at. He hasn't scored this season, so he's fucking due. Robbo goes in. Know that. Now, the Warriors, they travelled over here last week and they covered the line, but I think another fucking trip all the way up to fucking Townsville where it's hot and muggy, you'd be fucking over it, right? I just think you'd be flat as a tack. So I think that line's in big trouble. Huge trouble. 8.5 points. See you later. Cowboys cover that. And Nanai, who scored fucking 17 tries in 23 games last season, he's already got a double last week. That motherfucker is just too hot to handle. And if it's going to be as hot as you say it is, hot times hot equals fucking hot. So he goes in. $10.39.
Beautiful. I love that. Hot times hot equals hot. Sebo, have we
I've
gone?
gone.
Beautiful.
I've gone.
We've all gone.
Lippy. Tuolangi to score 2+ tries, 520. Don't hate it.
Don't hate it.
Don't hate that bet. Don't
Let's
hate
move
that
on.
bet.
Broncos, Dragons. Now, the Broncos are favourites at $1.26. Dragons $3.70. The line is 11.5 points. Over under 42.5 points. Rando, what's happening, bruh?
Obviously, game at Suncorp, 26 degrees and dry is predicted temperature. Now, an interesting stat here is since joining the Dragons in 2018, Ben Hunt has never lost to his former club. He's won all 6 games.
Holy
On
shit.
top of that, the Broncos have only won 2 of their last 9 games against the Dragons by 12 or more points, where that line is sitting at. Third stat here is a bit of a try scorer stat. The Dragons fullback has scored in 4 of the last 5 games against the Broncos.
Fuck. Those stats sort of throw me into a bit of a pretzel a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you.
Listen, I'll come out and I'll start us off.
Yeah. Thanks.
I was in the green room before, and Benny Hunt was fucking throwing, or not Benny Hunt, rather, Rando was throwing around these stats. And when you hear stats like that, your ears prick up. You go, hang on. What'd you just say, bruh? Okay. And I fucking channeled it, and I put it in the back pocket, and I'm whipping it out right now. I'm taking Dragons plus 11.5 with that fucking knowledge. Know that. If he's undefeated against his old club, and they rarely win by more than 12 points, the Broncos against St. George, I'm fucking all over 11.5 points. Now, if I'm looking for someone that breaks hearts, so if I've got my Broncos supporter hat on, who's gonna break my heart likely this weekend? It'll be Ben Hunt of all cunts. He's a heartbreaker.
Kill the stream vibes.
He'll kill that fucking stream. Kill the stream. So Ben Hunt, I think, anytime with the Dragons plus 11.5, $6.71. Scored in the weekend as well.
I, based on Rando's stats there, only minor change to my bet. I had Broncos 13 plus, and I just had Broncos. Let's not blow my dick off here trying to fucking pick something. If there's some shit going down here with Ben Hunt of all cunts and fucking, let's just have Broncos to win. Because I still think the Broncos are just a shitload better side. They're so fucking good. Reece Walsh, I mean, get out of town with that cunt. His eyelashes are fucked. He played his dick off. I've still got the Broncos. I've got Reece Walsh anytime. And again, this edition is just about cauterizing a wound and stemming the flow. I'm going to go Payne Haas anytime. He's had a fucking cracker start, and I just think he's warming into it. Now it's going to be close to the line. Someone's going to give him a short ball. He's going to smash, crash, and bash over. So for Broncos, Walsh, and Haas anytime, you get 15.72. Just stemming the blood flow, baby. Just stemming the blood flow. Seb?
I'm not going to let the stats scare me
Don't know about that
because if you think about when Ben Hunt left the Broncos, post that, they had like MILF trying to become a 7 or something, playing like dog shit. Dragons had some better players then, and the Broncos went on for like 3 or 4 years just playing really shit footy, losing all the time, and the Dragons was not that good. And then now the Broncos, it's kind of like a queer eye for the straight guys happened to them. Like everyone's kind of come out, grown up, Carrier and Haas, they're all like now matured into really good footy players.
So like they were ugly fucking dudes who just like sat behind the computer, had crazy hair and beards, and now it's like, here's a new wardrobe. Here, we're gonna shave you.
You've finished your puberty run. You're a fully adult. You've been shaved. You've been
Smooth
dressed.
skin,
Here's some
twink
like
vibes.
hair, like mousse or wax or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, here's a bit of moisturizer. And now the Broncos are fucking hot. So I'm ignoring the stats and I'm going, the Broncos are going to win 13 plus. And then the Dragons, they got a couple of tries in them, sure. So I'm putting them down to get exactly just 2 tries. So Broncos 13 plus, Dragons to only score 2, 591.
I feel like that Dragons to only score 2-1 is gonna fuck you.
Broncos have the best.
I don't think you get great odds for that to be that precise.
How many points have the Broncos let in this year after through 2 rounds?
2 tries on both occasions, right? Yeah. Okay. He's feeling himself on that one.
He's
Clearly.
the kid's feeling himself.
All I'm saying is, I don't know.
I
I don't know if you get rewarded for it.
Yeah, I don't like the value there either, boys. I'm with
No.
you.
Yeah.
Should I
Shit
get into
value.
mine? 'Cause
Yes.
I've got very good value here. So we talked about at the top of the show. We've alluded to it as well. Reece Walsh is hot right now. Hansel hot.
Oh yeah,
So hot.
Very fucking.
Tell you what, his 5'8" partner's hot as well.
he is.
Ezra Mam.
Wham bam.
Impeccable eyebrows. Joey alluded to it on the NRL 9 show that he does. I think maybe the Sunday Footy show. They're 2 hot-looking human beings up there in Brisbane Broncos. But the stats speak for themselves. I'm back in Rando all week this week. The Dragons have had the wood over them of recent. So I'm happy to take the Dragons plus 11.5. So therefore, if you do the math, Walsh and Mam could both score. They win 10-0, and I still get up. Ren misses a kick. Help yourself, and I get 1637 units from that.
I don't mind it.
No, I like it.
I don't mind it.
It's definitely a ballsy bet, and I like that. Where you're taking 2 try scorers.
2 try scorers
But the
against
other
my
team,
play.
yeah.
It's definitely ballsy.
There's balls in it.
There's balls in it.
Now,
No one's denying that.
No one's denying the balls in it. You couldn't.
It's probably not something you suggest every week.
Yeah,
No.
but you give it a
Going 2
crack.
try scorers
Yeah.
against your play.
No. To be honest, Scope,
the
if
line.
I had posited that bet to the panel here, I would be getting my asshole ripped apart. I will say that, obviously, because you're a bit cooler, former player that's sort of like trying to suck you off.
You taking
like,
it easy on me, Eduardo?
You know what I mean? Like,
Eduardo, you
if I
taking
come
it easy
out
on
of
me
bed,
'cause
it's
I'm,
like, you fucking loser.
I
You
said
haven't
it.
got
I
a
said it
fucking
takes
bet all
balls.
year. You're a fucking loser.
And you've hit. So when Tom says it,
You haven't-
with a gut, it loses its luster. You know what I mean? And Tom having not hit a bet through 2 weeks, you sort of, you have a bit of a fucking giggle to yourself, really. And it's born out of the fact that Tom couldn't quite work out why he was getting huge fucking odds every week and nothing was hitting. And it's because his bets were stupid. Whereas yours
Plus 11.5 is a
is
lot of
just
points.
ballsy.
It's a lot of points.
It is a lot of points.
It is a lot of points.
It's a lot of points. Now, the Lippy.
Make sense?
It does, yeah.
Tony Don has gone Herbie anytime, 230. I mean, I don't hate that. It's not much. Because Herbie will probably score. Herbie's in a bit of fucking form this year, to be honest.
Well, listen, if he's close to the try, you can guarantee you won't pass it. You just back
no.
himself.
I don't think he's
It's
going
not
to
the
pass
worst.
to Corey Oates.
It's not the worst bet.
Shout out to Corey Oates. Can I say, I think he might be one of my favourite wingers. I just think he's fucking good. Like, he's just a fucking good winger. That kick he put through for Wham Bam, like, he's got it. He's got it, dude. But he's injured. Anyway, Bulldogs, Tigers, Poo Slinger, potential Poo Slinger. We don't know the Dogs. The Dogs lost heavily to Manly, so you would argue this has still got Slinger in it for sure. It's at Belmore. Dogs are favourite $1.30. The Tigers of disgraceful and disgracing the NRL fame, $3.45. The line, 10.5, over under 41.5. Eddie, I know that you hate the Tigers.
Jesus Christ.
I know
You're
you
starting
hate
to joke now, aren't you?
What do you mean?
Like, are you fair
Hey,
income?
Rando,
Or is this...
before I get to Eddie, I was just asking you a question, dude. I wasn't asking you to bet. I was just asking you a question, and then I was going to go to Rando and see what he thinks. Okay.
Is that my cue?
It's as good as I'm going to get, I think.
It's going to be a hot one in Sydney all day on Sunday. 34 degrees at Belmore predicted. The Bulldogs, obviously back at their spiritual home ground, but they don't have the best record there of late. They've only won 1 of their last 9 games there. In saying that, the Dogs have won 75% of their day games as the favourite, and the Tigers, they've lost their last 8 Sunday 4 p.m. games. I'm really not a fan of Charlie Staines at fullback. In his 3 games that he has played at NRL level, he has 1 try involvement and lost 2 games. The other game was a 1-point victory over the cellar dwellers, the Titans, when he did win. So I think it might be a doggies upset, not upset win here.
Okay. All right. I'm just looking here. Is our Pommy mate been named?
Yeah, he's in the 20. He's number 20.
So he's potentially not going to. He's not going to play though. I don't understand why they do that. Like, why would you name?
I think because they have to. Because for him to be a chance, so he must be a percentage.
Okay.
It's whether.
Everyone
I don't
says
want to throw a shit willy-nilly now when it comes to injuries.
Yeah,
just in case it ends up being I get Kieran Foran.
But do you think he's playing?
No, I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think.
Okay.
I don't know. It's still a week away.
Yeah, I don't know if it changes too much in my mind anyway. Edward, as I was saying, mate,
Yes, mate.
you hate the Tigers.
I do.
What are you doing?
I do hate the Tigers, and I think the Tigers have been absolutely pathetic to start the season. I think the jury's still out on the Dogs, though, because the Dogs were made to look bush league against Manly. Now, I understand that Manly are premiership favourites. I get that. And I understand that when you come up against the Eagle in the year of the bird at Brookie, you're going to get humped, and that's what happened. But let's not fucking forget the Dogs' win on the weekend was against a fucking B or a C side in Melbourne. Like they weren't a first grade side out there on the weekend. Yeah, they scored a lot of points early, 26 points, but they looked pretty shit on the back half. So I'm not getting carried away with the Dogs just yet. I think they beat the Tigers because the Tigers suck and they could start the season 0-8, 0-9, something like that. Dogs 1-12. Now, Viliami Kikau he's been eluding the punter. He's been playing hard to get with us. And I think this week is the week that Kikau gets in there, gets his try for the Doggies, gets that monkey off the back and salutes. $10.16 for those two. I think that's bad odds, gentlemen.
No.
Not the worst.
$10.16 for a 2-legger like that? Not bad.
Sebo?
I love DNA, right? Like DNA of clubs, and Doggies are getting their DNA back. They're getting it back, and you can just tell, like, even I don't know where it went.
Did they cease to have DNA?
Well, remember that 4 years where they're over the salary cap?
Would you exist if you didn't have DNA?
Well, you know, like Austin Powers, he loses his mojo, you know, and it's in a little.
So it's more of a mojo.
Somewhere. Yeah, but I love it. All their players, you know, they seem to be proud Doggies, always touching like they're excited to be part of the club, and they're back at Belmore. And when you've got that sort of DNA, you're definitely going to win. Where Tigers, I don't remember, was it when Tommy Rodonicus passed away or something? They had a ceremony game, and it was when the Cowboys were Poo Slingers, and they got beaten by like 70-0. Yeah, like their DNA doesn't exist. So I'm just always going to be on the side of DNA, and I'm going to go the new special Ks and Kiraz and Kikau. I just think that they're really buying into the Doggies culture. I think they're going to score. I think it might even be like a 40-6 type vibe out there by the Doggies.
I hope
so. So I'm going just there. Kiraz Kikau Doggies win 752. I'm just excited. I love it when DNA goes to spiritual home ground. Yeah,
Sure.
Okay, I get it. I fucking hate the Tigers, and I felt like some positivity around them to start the season. Thought it was going to be good stuff, and by good stuff I mean just like slightly better. They're such a shit heap rabble, and obviously, I mean, if you don't watch NRL 360, I feel like you're missing out on a really important cultural element of rugby league. They were talking last night about how after the weekend where they lost basically to a 3-man Newcastle side, the chairman came out and spoke to the media, as opposed to the fucking coaches, of which they have like 50. And it's just like, what is going on here? Like, the players didn't have a crack. They didn't buy in. The tactics, Cooper Cronk basically threw up on camera when talking about their tactics, when the Knights had run out of interchanges because of injuries, and they just kept trying to go around them instead of through the middle. That's Rugby League 101. It's Rugby League 101.
It's Rugby League 101.
And that's what he was saying. It was 101 Rugby League shit. So
the chairman saying that if the Tigers attacked better, they would have won the game.
Is one of the great insights.
That's rugby league insight.
The only thing
he
better
needs a
than
fucking
that,
job at Fox. My God.
The only thing better than the chairman coming out and giving us those pearls of wisdom is that the CEO has his own podcast called like Talk to the Boss.
Business Time or something.
No, it's like Beat the Boss or like Let Me, and that's no disrespect to him. Love his haircut and love that he's in front of the camera more than the players. Dogs 13 plus. Tigers suck. Are they going to turn around in a week? I don't think so. Dogs 13 plus. Kick out. Because he's big and strong, and you know who's weak as piss? The Tigers. So he'll go over, and then Burton, getting better every week, he goes over. Doggy 13 plus, kick out Burton, 21-19. Is that crazy?
No, that's pretty good. That's your best one yet.
21, you know what? So, yeah, that's where I'm going.
Good for you, bro.
Thanks, mate. Scope.
Boys, I've again been talked out of this by not only the panel, but Rando's talked me into it as well. Originally, I had a famous Tigers victory. But when you start talking CEOs, podcasts, it just doesn't mix. And there's something just not mixing at Leichhardt at the moment. That's why they've moved away from Leichhardt. Going to take it to Belmore. I think I've been in this position where you are the Poo Slinger of all Poo Slingers. Well, I've won a spoon in 2012 before I headed over to the Peninsula.
Didn't win that at Manly.
And I know what it's like. So they're going to be fired up. So I had a famous victory, but then I started listening to you guys and I just can't see it now. I can see them pumping up for 40 just off the back of all this negativity. But I picked the Dogs to go down to Melbourne and get the job done. So surely they're going to get the job done, especially when my co-host, The Level Podcast, Willie Mason, is out training, getting into him. He ain't going to allow a Tigers victory, a famous Tigers victory at Belmore.
Yeah.
So Tigers at halftime with a bit of energy. It'll then therefore get zapped potentially when the CEO walks in at halftime and should be talking when he shouldn't be talking.
Yep.
Like he's been doing this week.
Yep.
And the Bulldogs they go on and get the victory. Tigers halftime, Bulldogs full time, 7:50.
I saw Tigers' famous win there, and I was like, the kid's lost the plot.
Yeah.
Kid has lost the plot.
I wasn't going to say anything because I wanted him to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But good to see that Rando's been able to sort of pull him back from the brink.
Mate, he came. It was the
I've
first
backed
thing,
you
it was
all-
the
I've
first
backed you
thing he
all around,
said when he
Rando.
walked in. He was strutting around like a peacock going, I reckon Tigers win this week.
Is that in the green room?
Yeah, in the green room.
That's
Yeah.
green room.
Fucking hell.
Tigers only have a famous win when like all hope is gone. Like round 16, they'll put it to a 10.
Yeah.
That's the best they'll muster up all season.
Rando, Tommy hasn't been giving you the respect to coming to you before he crosses the boys, but I've been giving you the ultimate respect. So I'm backing you here. I've backed you all episode. I've changed my selections 4 times.
Mate, the belt is yours next week, I'm telling you.
Okay.
The belt is yours next
It
week.
just sounds like a man who's got no faith in his bets. Lippy has got the Bulldogs by 1 point, paying $23.
That's not enough.
No, it's not enough
for that.
No,
it's
It's only happened twice in the last 6 years that the Bulldogs have won by 1 point.
Fucking
so
hell, Rando, you are on. You are on. It's getting me horny.
please just
Last
talk to me next time.
game, I will come to you, I promise. Last game of the round, Raiders-Sharks. Raiders v Sharks. Raiders 230, Sharks $1.60 at Canberra. This is the time of year when Canberra's not cold, though. I think it's still hot. I don't know if that's true. That's a vibe-based thing. Line is 3.5, over under 43.5. Rando, didn't forget ya. What's up? What's up?
Very hot conditions in Canberra, 34 degrees even at 6 p.m. Now, I'm all for the upset here. The Sharks, they've lost their last 8 games against the Raiders, and Ricky has won 5 of his last 6 Sunday games, and Jackie Whiten, he scored 4 tries in his last 4 games against the Sharks, and, of course, in each of his last 2 games this season.
Could you just say the first stat that you said out there?
The Sharks have lost their last 8 games against the Raiders.
Right.
So similar Storm Titans vibe here.
That's it. Mate, I did my fucking research, baby, and I looked into it, and I saw that the Raiders have the fucking measure of the Sharkies. 8 in a row they've won. Now, I'm going through the team list. I'm trying to turn over data. I'm looking for insights, and I'm looking for motherfuckers to sort of pop out of nowhere. And there was one man who just pops up on the screen, and I go, God damn, I almost forgot about you, bruh. Huddy Young, that fucking all-star stud.
You mean the guy that Sebo thought played for England in the World Cup last year?
Yeah, because he looks English, but he's not. He's from fucking Maitland.
Literally picked Huddy Young any time for England. We're like, the cunt doesn't play for England.
He doesn't play for
He's
England.
not
I
even at
just
the World Cup.
assumed his name, his look, his vibe. He plays for Canberra. He's fucking English.
Sure, innocent mistake, but a shocking one. Now I'm starting to prime myself right now because I'm seeing Huddy Young and I'm thinking, God damn, have I fucking forgot about Huddy Young? No, I haven't. He's going in, but then I want stats to back it up. Hudson Young in his last 4 games against the Raiders gets the fucking
Against the Raiders.
Wow.
gets a try.
He's got, in the last-
against the Sharks rather gets a try. He's scored a couple of match winners as well. Has Hudson Young, so he goes in. I'm bullish on this. 562 double stake.
Ooh, double.
Now, I was hearing Rando's stats there, especially the first one about Sharks not having beaten the Raiders in the last 400 games or whatever. You could understand if I became trepidatious and was like, oh, fuck, I'm getting out of this one. I'm getting out of this because I do have Sharks -3.5. But then I hear Edward go before me and he's on the Raiders. Now, for those of you that have been with us for a while, for the last couple of years, you would know that percentage-wise, Eddie's track record on picking the Raiders is fucking diabolical. It's almost never comes off for him. So to see that Eddie has gone Raiders here, that actually meant that I ignore Rando's stats on this one and I stick with Sharks -3. What I'm doing to juice that bitch is Katoa anytime and Will Kennedy at fullback, who's just been as hot as it gets. I've always liked Will Kennedy. I actually, not to be, Mr. fucking, changing history, but I was going to get on him last week anytime. Didn't. Didn't.
Sure.
Just to let you know.
Just be quiet.
So I'm going him this week.
Fucking hell.
I'm going him this week. Sharks -3, Katoa Kennedy anytime.
That might be the first time I've
7.67.
ever heard Kennedy's name come out of your lips. That's how little you talk about him.
I know.
So to say that you were going to put him in is the biggest crock of shit.
There's a first time for everything. And I'm on him this week. 7.67. I'm not changing shit. Sebo, what are you doing?
It's the first time you've said Kennedy, and it's the first time I'm going to say Kennedy. I saw what he did last weekend, and I was like, look, I'm not asking you to go on a dinner date with me like I do with Brimo and a few of the other blokes. I just want you to come have a beer with somebody who's a mutual friend, Mulatalo, because I'm going to have Mulatalo in there. I don't care about the stats. I'm just picking 2 try scorers here. Mulatalo, you always get me over the line. Can I meet your friend Will? Let's just go out for a chill drink, you know
Just
what I mean?
guys. Just like guy chat. Just guy shit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like daylight vibes. It's not like 7:30. It's like, oh, let's meet 5 o'clock Friday, maybe catch a first game, go our separate ways. I'll pretend I have something on, but really I'm hoping you want to linger with me the whole night. Anyway, Kennedy Mulatalo, 446.
Yep, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Fucking hell.
Mr. Scope.
For those two, that's a pretty good price for those two to cross. Boys, I couldn't get a read on this one. The stats threw me off a little bit, but I'm not going to change because I've made too many changes as already. So when I
change every bet.
when I can't,
reckon, Rando? Yep.
when I can't get a read, I start looking at markets that I just would never be dabbling in. Yep. So I went down to halftime markets. I went, I can't see this either way to begin the game. So I'm just going to go a draw at halftime. $8.75. Both teams maybe. I can see a low scoring, maybe 10-all sort of game.
Okay.
I don't rate their goal kickers 100%. So maybe Mulatalo does score on the sideline. They missed the kick, and then Eduardo, what do you got?
I'm starting to get the feeling that you don't know what the fuck's going on.
And just to back that up, only 3 times in the last 20 years have there been a draw at halftime between these two teams.
So would you. That's good to hear. Yeah. When I don't know what I'm doing, I don't try to hide it.
No.
I don't try to hide it.
You haven't hidden it there either.
Mate, we call them a fortune cookie bet. You just pick something out of the shit markets and just run with it. You know what I mean? Just run with it.
So a draw at halftime is $8.75.
Eddie's sitting there like, he wanted in. I hadn't even finished my selection. He's gone, I got something for you, bro.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. The Lippy has gone unders at $1.90, under 43.5. That is, you know what? There's a part of me that is envious of just an unders bet or just one where you just get to ride that shit. Like the whole thing is just on.
You got to do one around. Like I'm taking the fish line. Take one bet that you're kind of bullish on or really want to happen. So you just give yourself a clean, bird's eye view of the game. You don't need to focus in on try scorers and stuff. You just sitting back and just watching it unfold with one thing on your
Especially as a Lippy. You only come in for 1 week, then you fuck off.
You may as well enjoy yourself.
It's carefree.
I may even do that on the stream just with a Manly bet. Obviously, I'll have my normal bet, but just a nice juicy over under
13 plus.
Well, it could be a 13 plus. That's the games, punters and dribblers. Now we'll get to our unit scoopers, our 10 to 10,000, and we'll quickly whip through the UFC, which is on Sunday. So I have got another try scorer smoothie here. I did a smaller one, like I had a small size smoothie on the weekend, and I went basically with all really fucking hot favourites. And I just realised that didn't even fucking go close. So why not just, really throw caution to the wind here and try and change my life for the better? So I've gone all 8 games. And I've got Ruben in Manly Para anytime. I've got the Hammer anytime. This is where I'm juicing this bitch. I got Kalamatangi anytime. Xavier Coates anytime. Nanai anytime. Reece Walsh anytime. Josh Adokar anytime. Katoa anytime. Outside, Nanai, he likes to score, but Kalamatangi is the only one that's really sort of like...
He scores.
He scores. It could happen. And if you put all those together into a multi... you're going to be paying $1,027.97. Like, if that happens, dude, we get the board up there, we put my name on it straight away, and I basically win the whole fucking season. So, Eddie?
I'm going to Zaki 8 this week. When I was looking at the lines, I just started feeling something. Something just started, yearning inside me to get out, and... I'm having a fucking crack at the big time. It's as simple as that. Manly -2.5. The joke line of the fucking round. That is a disgraceful line. Thank you very much. Fish -5.5. That goes in. Rabbits -3.5. Obviously, I've done the research. That goes up. Titans +6.5. This was... I armed and art about this, but I just got to remind myself that Melbourne are going like a fucking busted ass, and now they're a poo slinger. Cows -8.5. Dragons +11.5 off the back of the fucking Ben Hunt stat. Raiders +3.5. See 5 minutes ago for why, and Dogs -10.5. Tigers shit 169.83.
I don't like it. I don't like the lines you've chosen. And again, I've never hit one, so it's hard for me to say. But just as a top down, like if I'm surveying the lines,
yep, that's fine. You haven't got a bet this year, so
no.
That actually makes me feel better.
I think it's a pretty good week to do an Ozaki with some of those lines. Some of them are guarantees.
I was saying this
some of them are pretty easy lines.
Some of them are easy, but then there are ones.
There's a couple in there that
Titans,
we're flipping a coin.
Titans line's tough. Raiders line's tough. Dogs line could be tough.
There's some tough lines in there, sure, but there's some easy fucking lines in there, which is why I've taken them.
This has been the easiest lines we've had
so far.
Because
we're getting a bit of an idea of what's going on. Scope, what are you doing?
Well, see, that's why I'm not even worried about the lines, boys. What's the name for the head-to-head? Do you have a name for... Because, look, I've got 2 weeks left, boys. I've been saying this already. I'm looking up at the Izaki 8, and I want some of that.
Yep.
And when I started talking about it today, Seb was sitting on the couch, real smug.
In the green room?
In the green room. He had his hands behind his head. He goes, it's hard, bruh. He goes, it's not easy, bruh. So I just went, all right, let's get it on, Seb. So I couldn't get to the price with the Izaki 8. With hitting the lines.
Yeah, they've changed the odds this year.
So they've dropped down a little bit. So I've gone head-to-head and I've had some value. And I'm going to stay, even though I changed it on my Sunday bet, I'm going to keep in a famous Tigers victory in it.
Shit.
Because if I take it out, it doesn't beat the Izaki 8. So I'm leaving it in. Manly, Fish, Rabbits, Titans, Cowboys, Dragons, Tigers, Sharks, just win.
Wow.
297. Good odds.
297.
Good odds.
Yeah.
Good odds. I think
Good odds.
Tigers and
real good
Dragons. Tigers and Dragons.
Tigers and Dragons.
And Titans.
That's where the value is, boys.
They're the three. That's where that
basically
juice is coming.
$2.97 for 3 legs, which is good.
Yes.
But the 3 legs are...
That's an interesting way of thinking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
297 for 3 legs, not bad.
It's not
But
bad.
those 3 legs feature Titans, Dragons.
Yeah. You've got 2 DMCs
All
in there.
poo slingers.
All poo slingers.
All poo slingers for Sunday.
Now, Sebo, what are you doing?
Embracing the poo.
I'm just doing a bit of a smoothie myself. I'm not known in the smoothie parts, but there's a great little place in Coogee, Melonhead, that do a great smoothie.
Shout out to Melonhead.
Shout out Melonhead. And I was having one of them. I was like, I'll try my hand at a smoothie as a start, packing the hiking bag for the Izaki coming soon. So I'm just taking some easy favourite smoothies. Sevo, Hammer, AJ, Warbrick. He hasn't scored yet. I think he's due. Talangi, Cobbo, Adokar, and Mulatalo. It's 153.72. They are all favourites, but I think I got to start that way and just get a feel for them. So,
Are you worried that you didn't put Joshy Carr in there? You said Addo Carr. Is that?
Oh no, I was just testing some. I'm
not a good sign.
running some tests in my lab.
not it.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yep.
So you're trying to change. You're moving away.
Are you
from
A/B
Joshy
testing?
Carr.
No, I'm A/B testing Joshy Carr in multis, Addo Carr in unit scoopers.
Oh,
Whichever one hits
Okay.
first, I'll run with that.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, really fucking testing. That's actually got me a little bit fucking shook because I'm not running high level tests like that.
High level A/B test.
No, I'm not doing that.
Well, that's why he's the champ.
Yeah.
That's why he's the champ.
The Lippy has gone. Manly 13 plus, Dolphins 13 plus, Bunnies 1 to 12, Storm 13 plus, Cows 13 plus, Broncos 13 plus, Dogs 1 to 12, Raiders 1 to 12. Coming in at a whopping $3,419.42.
Big price.
Big price, huge price, unlikely. We move on to 10 to 10,000. What's the order of the games this week?
It is Scope Thursday, Sebo Friday, yourself Saturday, myself Sunday, and then Rando sort of floats around and just picks a game that no one else is on.
He's a rover.
He's a rover.
All right, Scope, what are you doing?
Nice and easy, boys. Manly just get the job done, and they cover -2.5. Don't
Like it.
overcomplicate it. Thursday night game, I think we're all on board that one.
Yep, beautiful. Who's next, Eddie?
Me, I
Sebo.
think. Look, Trell, he just scores against the Roosters. He gets fired up. You get $2.25, so it gives a bit of value as well. Trell just goes over.
Love it. I've gone Reece Walsh anytime at 245, dude.
bad.
Against the Dragons? 245. Thanks for coming.
I want Raiders win. I know that may upset the man on my left, but I'm feeling
It
it.
should upset everyone.
I'm feeling it.
It should upset
Every
everyone.
mate,
We'll
every
be
10
on
into
3.
10,000, you've got a
We'll be on
problem with it, and I'm
3.
fucking 2 from
We'll
2.
be on 3, and then the Raiders are going to get
what you said
done.
last week. That's what you said last week.
What did I say last week?
You said, "Oh fuck that fucking Warriors line. We'll be
I did
fucking.
say
It'll
that.
get you.
I
It'll
did say
fucking
that.
fall over." You said
I
it the
did
week
say that.
before that when I was on a Warriors line.
Back to
I
back
did
wires.
say that. Fuck it.
Did you consider going wires 3 times in a week?
Well, they went on Sunday.
True.
Went on
Very
Sunday.
true. That's
Good
what gets
point.
you sometimes.
Then Rando.
We're doing Taolongi to score any time, $1.85, probably the safest thing on Saturday.
I don't mind that. I think that's nice.
Nice, Rando. Good work, buddy.
Beautiful. That's 10 to 10,000. Let's get into UFC.
Oh, they do. Rando's better the week.
Oh, bet of the week. I have just ignored you out of pocket.
I almost feel like there's like an apology.
Yeah.
needed.
No, there probably is. I'm not going to give you one, but there probably should be.
That's all right. I just can't look away from Manly the line into Tommy Turbo to score. You put them together, $3.27.
Okay. I like it.
I obviously like
Easy.
it a lot.
That's simple as fuck. That's just
is
easy.
simple.
That's
Simple,
that's
easy.
money for jam. Can't say it's guaranteed, but it's as close to guaranteed as you can get responsibly. UFC 2.
8-6.
Are we sure about that?
286? 285. 286?
286.
286.
UFC 286 this Sunday. Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards for the welterweight title. Leon Edwards is the current champion. Kicked his head off last fight. It's a rematch. It's the third fight, actually. And then the co-main event is Justin Gaethje and Rafael Fiziev. I've got Gaethje. The markets weren't entirely up, so it wasn't like we could really get stuck into anything other than wins, it would seem. I've just got Gaethje to win by knockout, and then I've got Usman in a decision. Usman decision is 210. I don't know what Gaethje KO is, but the decision with Usman just seems like he was fucking dominating that last fight, and I feel like he'll just be smarter this time and avoid everything.
That's my exact same train of thought. Obviously, Leon Edwards' head kick at the end of the 5th round. Everyone's talking about Rocky Balboa and all this shit, and he's pulled the win out of the fight. I don't see that happening again. I just think that Usman goes out, that controls the fight, wins by points, and Gaethje's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Who I'm a big fan of, and I want to see him knock this Fiziev guy out. So I don't have the odds for that. It'll be on screen. Usman points 210, as Tom said.
Scott.
Yeah, boys, I don't know much about Rafael as well, but I'm hoping it's a bit of a bang fest. Justin Gaethje, he's going knockout, boys. I think I'm going to take decision on this. I think it'll be a war. He's obviously a $1.40 favourite for a reason, so he's going to put up some fight, but I'm going to go with our main Gaethje, and I'm going to stay with Leon Edwards in the main fight. Sometimes I think, when it comes to UFC, you just got that edge over him a little bit, It's that second guessing himself, although Usman was dominating in that match. He got him good, and he's going to be hesitating a little bit, maybe try to be withstand it a little bit more. So I'll go Edwards TKO again.
Lovely. Sebo, Mr. UFC.
Yeah, Mr. UFC here. Look, I saw that everyone was going Gagey, and so I like to go against the grain in UFC because I don't necessarily treat it as me trying to outsmart Neds. It's me just trying to go against you guys and get a leg up. Take a risk, you know what I mean, rather than just stay the same. So I'm going Raphael to TKO 230, and it does help that he's named after a freaking Ninja Turtle. So I'll take any sort of turtle in an octagon any day of the week. And then Edwards.
Sure.
Edwards to win round 3. $23. I briefly, for all of 10 seconds, looked at the history of these two fighters. That's how much I go into these bets, so don't follow me too much. But I am tapped into a little bit of vibe and upset. So he knocked him out, round 5 last time? He can get it done round 3. $23. Go against the grain.
Was that the research you did?
Yeah.
You knocked him out round 5, so I'm going round 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not going to...
Just against the grain.
Just against the grain.
Sure.
That's all I'm here
Good
for.
stuff.
Beautiful. That's it. Before we go, though, Eddie, I am offering you an opportunity for a side bet, Raiders Sharks.
Yep.
50
$50. Done.
50 on it.
Love it. Good use.
Yeah,
Good use.
good use. I was thinking about it. Here we go. There it is. It'll be kept in escrow.
Escrow, in between.
In between us, right there. Tobler, don't you touch that. You cheeky
Escrow,
fucker.
Latin for in between. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tobler.
You stay away from that escrow.
That
bet,
$50
dude.
still better be in that drawer. I'll be checking later. I'll be checking.
We'll be checking. That's it from us. Thanks for another week. Thanks to Rando, who I do love and care for, but I will not apologise to for ignoring for the entire show. Thank you to Neds. If you are going to have a punt, do it responsibly. Take the Neds level, but do it responsibly. Punters and dribblers. Manly 13+. Fuck the Eels. Fuck the Knights. Fuck the Tigers. Fuck you all. See you next week. Bye-bye.